The 90s were a hip time, filled with Nickelodeon rocking the tube, fresh style, and dumb dancing. And in the world of video games, nothing was bigger than character-driven platformers. Mario paved the way, leading Nintendo to great heights, while Sonic sped his way into the heart of Sega. But that's not all. These platforming mascots were everywhere. Characters like Bonk, Rocket Knight, ToeJam and Earl, Bubs Noid, the Domino's mascot. He had a game. And Ubisoft wanted in on the action. So, in 1994, Ubisoft funded designer Michel Ancel's character Rayman. Rayman was initially intended for the Super Nintendo, but after advancements in technology, was eventually set to be an Atari Jaguar exclusive, which was an excellent choice. Oh, the Jaguar didn't do well. Oh. So, in 1995 and 96, Rayman was ported over to the PlayStation 1 and Sega Saturn. In fact, Rayman was even a US PlayStation 1 launch title, hence the giant old-school PlayStation 1 box. So, how was Rayman, and does he stand up to the likes of Sonic, Mario, or Crash Bandicoot? I gave myself limbless arms. That should probably tell you the answer. The world of Rayman begins when the surprisingly evil Mr. Dark. Never would have guessed. Never would.
Steals the great protoon and defeats Spatilla the fairy as she tries to protect it.
This causes the Lectoons to scatter across the world and get captured, as the protoon was providing balance across the world. And why Mr. Dark stole the protoon? Well, you see, he's evil. So that's like all you need, right? And only Rayman can save the day.
No problem.
And with a plot like that, who needs writers? I don't. And then Dave finished his Rayman Super Show. He gained 1 million subscribers in one episode and everybody loved him. The end. It's perfect! The game begins with Rayman traversing a series of worlds starting at the Dream Forest as Mr. Dark watches from his binoculars. Just watching. Just watching. And that leads you right into Pink Plant Woods and the first stage, which will immediately blast you with personality. Just look at all that personality! Oh, I don't think mushrooms are supposed to be moving like that. That's not what they normally do. It's like a living, breathing cartoon all on the PS1, and that music. Rayman had some of the finest tracks on the PlayStation 1, and I'm talking about a system that included the Final Fantasy franchise and Symphony of the Night. Rayman's music is on the same level as all of those. It's just a shame Rayman is totally worthless. Yup, I said it. You're worthless, you piece of trash. All you can do is walk, jump, crawl, and climb. And that's it. Oh, you can also yell at enemies. Yup. But that's okay, because this allows you to learn the fundamentals of the game without too much hassle. The game guides you through the obstacles you'll need to face and teaches you by playing. You know, good game design. And right when you learn these mechanics, you meet Batilla the Fairy, who teaches Rayman the power of punching. So, Rayman had to gain the magical ability of punching. This is a magic ability. All you have to do is curl your hand into a fist and stop! No! It's out of control! Stop! With this new ability, you'll now be able to both defeat enemies and free the Lectoons from their cages, which presents a new aspect to Rayman. Beyond simply getting through the levels, there are 5 hidden Lectoon cages in each of these, introducing an incentive to explore the stages for all their hidden secrets and goodies. And some of these are ridiculously well hidden, so you'll feel really clever every time you figure out how to find one. As you work your way through the Dream Forest, you'll also find some of the inhabitants of Rayman's world, like Terezan, who's somehow gotten his loincloth stuck on a high branch. How did this happen? We're just like, sexy time, might as well throw my clothes into a tree! Because that's what I do. Ladies. Other inhabitants you'll find include the bosses, like Mr. Mosquito, an easy boss who will introduce you to the mechanics of boss fights and aww, stop crying, buddy. It's okay. So Rayman even manages to make you feel bad for and befriend a mosquito, who you can then ride on and use to fly. What other game can make you fall in love with a mosquito? No, not you. No. For finishing Mr. Mosquito's level, you'll receive yet another new ability, the ability to hang. Get it? Get it! Rayman slowly introduces new abilities like this as you progress, making you not only feel a sense of accomplishment, but also allowing the game's mechanics to never grow stale. So, with that, it's off to the next area, Bandland, where... You're just gonna keep watching. Okay then. Caddy? What the fuck are you doing? Okay. Where you'll listen to one of Rayman's greatest tracks as you soar across musical sheets, bounce on drums, get blasted around by trombones, and realize another key feature of Rayman.
Holy shit, this game is fucking hard!
That's what I was gonna say, you asshole! Anyways, once you reach the Bandland levels, you'll realize the key feature of Rayman is that this game does anything but hold your hand. Can I also just point out how terrifying Bandlands is when you really think about it? You're traveling ever upwards over the clouds and into outer space. To get there, you have to travel on top of angry Buddhist monks who only show their true color with their drums and avoid things like this. How do you even relate to music? All while giant googly eyes are watching your every step in death. You'll then discover at the height of all of this, what could only be described as a musical heaven, is a giant angry saxophone who pees out bombs at you. And if that's what heaven consists of, sign me up today! In defeating Mr. Sax, you'll dance a jig with him and all is good. Because dancing solves everything! Which does bring up one of the great features of Rayman. Every time you finish a stage, you'll be treated to this. Yeah! And trust me here, with how hard the game's about to get, you will cherish every single time you hear this noise. Finishing off Bandland, you'll receive the ability to briefly hover, which will lead you back to the Dream Forest, where you can use your newfound ability to reach Mr. Mosquito. I thought we were friends! We danced together, you bastard! This means war! Oh, it was a different one. So with the Dream Forest and Bandlands wrapped up, you know what that means. Time to traverse onwards and into the Blue Mountain. Dude, would you cut it out? Onwards to the Blue Mountains and the home to Mr. Stone. Another really creative name there. One thing the Blue Mountain Peaks do is to introduce even more variety to the game. You'll eventually help out a limbless hippie family, and for doing so, be rewarded with a potion that gives you unlimited helicopter flying powers for a limited set of levels. Can I have this forever, please? What this does is, once again, add another dynamic to the game. While it's a limited ability, it still helps keep the game fresh and entertaining. You'll even come across a puzzle level which will require you to quickly realize you need to use this ability to cut a rope and prevent a stone slab from smashing you. But you'll quickly move past the Blue Mountains and defeat Mr. Stone. So, here's the question. Are you ready for the real hard shit? No? No? Oh, okay, I guess we'll just go from game over then. Fuck you! Doesn't matter. It's time for Picture City, an area where you'll start by learning how to run, which, instead of making the game easier, only means the game has more ways to try and kill you.
Oh yes, you'll have to worry about sharp pencils stabbing you to your death or drowning in ink, all while listening to the relaxing track of Painted Pentathlon. It's almost like the devs are purposely throwing this music in so they can laugh in your face at the extreme juxtaposition of it all.
Whoa, Cabby. That's my line. You know you're just holding up toilet paper rolls, right? You're fucking weird, dude. So, you'll need to run across pencils and... Fuck! Whatever! I'll just try again! Oh! So, in Rayman, you not only have limited lives, but you also have limited continues. In other words, the game is not just ridiculously fucking hard, it's ridiculously fucking hard. I couldn't think of a stronger adjective. But on the flip side, this actually works positively towards the overall game design. You see, in several games, such as the new Super Mario Bros. Titles, lives don't really mean anything. You'll rack all these up and feel nothing. But in Rayman, every time you find a hidden life or collect 100 tings, which equals a hidden life, you'll actually feel a sense of accomplishment. This makes every little secret in Rayman rewarding.
Oh, hey there.
Guarding the domain of Picture City is none other than Space Mama, a Viking space warrior who shoots lasers out of a rolling pin and uses a washing machine as a shield. I came prepared. Did you? And for defeating Space Mama, you're rewarded with Batilla the Fairy being captured. No, stop. This is bad. Stop! Without Batilla, how else are we going to learn important and difficult moves like running and punching? So nothing to it but to continue on our quest through the Cave of Scops and eat at Joe's restaurant. Here, Joe is upset because the power is out, so you have to go on a quest to help him turn it back on. To do so, he gives you a firefly, and look at this shit! Holy mother of fuck! Eat at Joe's is like a sick joke in an already difficult game. You know what would make Rayman even harder than it already is? If you can't see anything! To turn the power back on, you have to ride on electric platforms in the shape of Joe's face, which ram you towards spikes of death. And when you do finally turn the power back on, Joe will help you out by having you jump on water floats one misstep, and you'll fall into the sharp-toothed fish-infested water. Do you have that one friend who tries to help, but just ends up making things worse? That's Joe. That right there is Joe. Hippie family gives you a magic potion to fly, which, you know, would have come far more in handy when you have to traverse across a devil fish-infested cove. You don't deserve to have any power. And never did that sound so sweet. So it's on to face Mr. Scops, a giant scorpion, and not be allowed to traverse to the final level. So recall, if you will, those secret Electoon cages I mentioned oh so long ago. Turns out you can't access the final level unless you collect all of these, and some of these secret cages are hard to get. You'll be required to utilize your newfound skills in previous levels in order to find and collect the missing Electoons. And this is where I get pissed. Nah, not really. I actually really enjoy this mechanic. While you are forced to backtrack, it's actually a lot of fun to play older levels and access new areas with your new powers. Also, it's rewarding to play some of the beginning levels and realize just how much you've improved by dealing with Joe? Don't think I forgot about you! If you can manage to find every hidden Electoon cage, you can access the final stage, Candy Chateau, where, can we just analyze the background for a second? What the fuck is going on? You have your standard fare of caramel apples with twisty lollipops stuck in them, chocolates, and ice cream, and then you have the Statue of Liberty's hand? What is this? Why is the only thing in Rayman with limbs this giant creeper? And what are you sunbathing to? There's also clowns, creepy carnival music, and this guy, who? Look, don't get me wrong, I love cake. Seriously though, love cake. Love it! But what the fuck? At the end of the stage, you'll confront Mr. Dark, who will steal your ability to punch, even though your hands are still there. So... And eventually, the Electoons you save will help you get your fist back. Worthless, Rayman. Worthless! This will cause Mr. Dark to run away, and you'll be forced into a boss rush mode of all of the former bosses with randomly placed limbs and pieces of the other bosses, like Mr. Stonescops, Space Mama Mosquito, and Mosquito Saxophone. It's actually a surprisingly clever and humorous boss rush mode, which opens the door to chase after Mr. Dark and defeat him once and for all. Because after all the shit he put me through, I'm ready.
You've done it. You've saved the world!
What? So, you never fight Mr. Dark again. He's run away, and that's it. Some have speculated that Mr. Dark shapeshifted into the boss rush end boss, as it's his health meter you deplete at the end of the game, but I don't know. The only time he ever appears again as the main antagonist is in the Rayman Color adaptation and in Rayman Brain Games, or Rayman Jr. in the EU, which I'm sure we all fondly remember playing.
It's fat, of course.
Nobody played it.
I have!
That's it! I'm tired of your shit!
Oh yeah? And what are you gonna do? Ah! Oh! You bastard! Two can play at that game!